I'm sure a lot of you have seen a lot of foreclosure signs on houses, cars being repossessed, people living in their RVs in the Walmart parking lot. Well, today's economy has brought our country into a recession equivalent to the Great Depression. Society's expectations of the American dream, the outsourcing of American jobs to overseas workers, and the real estate bubble bursting are all areas in which our country needs improvement and help. Digging ourselves out of the current recession will be a real bear, yet a few ways in which we can attempt to get started would be to regulate the outsourcing of American jobs, tackling the real estate crisis, and reinstating the ideals of the American dream. Today, I am here to inform you on how today's society contributes to our American nightmare, and how we can wake up and turn it back into the American dream. I've been exploring this issue for a number of weeks now, and the information I have found scared me in relation to our current recession. As Americans, we can all relate to wanting that job just because it paid more, or wanting that one house even though we can't afford it, or buying a designer label because that is what everyone else is wearing. I admit I got caught up in the whole designer bag phenomenon, and I had to stop buying designer label purses because they're way too expensive, and I realized that there are way more important things to spend my money on that are way worthwhile, like college tuition. That's important. But in reality, we have just lost touch with this, but it's really important. Today, I will be discussing with you the main contributors to our current recession in regard to the outsourcing of jobs to foreign countries, the bursting of the real estate bubble, and what we can work on so we can attempt to restore the American dream. The first thing I would like you to know about is how the outsourcing of American jobs contributed to the downturn of our economy. With more and more companies taking the cheaper way out when it comes to hiring employees, the job market in the U.S. has become slim to none. Moving textile mills and even technical support companies overseas has caused fewer and fewer opportunities for our own American people to have jobs, and we are supporting a foreign job market instead of our own. The Council on Foreign Relations says it leads to layoffs and dislocations for thousands of U.S. workers. In the end, it is all done just to make a few extra dollars. But hey, isn't that what it's all about? Although many big businesses or even small businesses would disagree with my claim. They, however, are very successful in what they do. Many well-known companies such as IBM and Hewlett-Packard are in the top 10 on the list of companies that outsource to foreign countries, says the 2008 Global. The outsourcing of American jobs to foreign countries allows them to cut their costs in half while enhancing their ability to perform. Also, David Michaels from Ezine article states that doubling productivity while cutting costs in half helps everyone, especially your customers. Not passing extra costs to your customer base will give them power and decision options. But for you, the option will be success. I admit outsourcing and its ability to make these companies so very successful is a plus for their workers and the owners. The ability for them to excel at a higher rate while spending far less money than before is an accomplishment. I see their point of view and how they're just doing their jobs to make the most money and have the most success possible. Thus, I realize this portion of my proposal forfeits one component that gives the outsourcing of American jobs its allure. Now that you have an idea of how outsourcing affected our economy, here's how the real estate crash did too. The bursting of the real estate bubble was inevitable, but was hoped to not hit so hard. The current housing crisis was caused by a combination of misleading lenders, greedy real estate agents, risky loans, naive buyers, and a bubble that seemed to only be getting bigger and bigger as time went by. The Library Journal stated, Greenspan was generally successful in keeping the economy vibrant and ameliorating financial shocks, but that is his use of low interest rates and his opposition to financial regulations fostered the growth of the housing and credit bubble. It is a buyer's market for sure. Houses that at this time, 4 years ago, were appraised at nearly $1 million in California would now only sell for nearly $600,000. Loans are now harder and harder to get due to new regulations and credit scores must be near to perfection to even qualify. Patrick Kalalia wrote, "Buyers borrow too much money and cannot pay it back." Now there are mass foreclosures, and Federal Reserve is buying up bad mortgages to let banks evade the consequences of their foolish lending. Home foreclosure is now a phrase in everyone's vocabulary, and home ownership has become only a dream. Personally, I have probably benefited from this dip in our economy. Before the recession, any money I had definitely would burn a hole in my pocket. I was in no way thrifty, and I have now started saving my money for more important things. As far as the job market goes, I have not been affected and still have a job. I guess I should consider myself lucky. The housing crisis would probably affect me more if I owned my own home, but as a college student living at home, I'm really thankful for my parents who work really hard and keep a roof over my head. I've touched on a couple of the effects that job outsourcing and real estate burst had on our economy, and now on to the harmfulness of our material world. Society's expectations of the American dream far exceeded any generation before. Material possessions have become a main focus of daily life, and without them, we feel incomplete. Celestine Chua of the Excellent blog says that materialism has become the prevalent trend in our society. When the economy took a hit, it caused the American people to reevaluate their expectations and try to appreciate the little things again. Making ourselves happy without draining our bank accounts is definitely considered a plus. Yet, when it comes down to it, money does not buy happiness. Although at first you may become so excited and so happy that you can buy anything and everything you want, it would soon become monotonous. As the saying goes, what do you buy someone who has all the money in the world and has everything? We see material goods as tools that will help us improve our quality and experience of life. It seems our problems will no longer be around or will be reduced considerably if we are to have these material possessions. Material possessions have evolved into our holy grail and represent symbols of hope, happiness, and joy. However, these symbols are no more than just artificial creations by people. So in conclusion, possible solutions I propose to help with the current recession may be to reevaluate what you value in life. Think about what is really most important to you rather than just designer bags or video games or cars. Material objects should take a back seat, and we should all try to not to drain our bank accounts just to have some fun. Also, investing in American companies and buying local produce can help with the job crisis. And as far as the housing crisis goes, doing things the old-fashioned way is what will bring us back, saving up, taking out smaller loans, and spending only the money we actually have.
So Ishmael, what did you think?
I thought it was a great intro from the beginning. It was, at first I didn't know what she was going for, but then towards the end of the intro I got it, so that was good. I got her thesis and what she was going to talk about. She had good signposting, and she had a clever, like in the intro, she had a clever, setup there. And the eye contact definitely needs improvement. I felt like she was reading a lot. I didn't think she was really talking to us, just more reading what she had, or she was just reading it. And the presentation definitely could use some more dramatic. It's it's something that's affecting everybody, and it would improve. It would improve her speech if she was a little bit more dramatic when addressing certain things, so they could have a bigger impact on the audience. And I like that she actually addressed a rebuttal when she was talking about companies who would dismiss her claim, and then she mentioned companies like IBM and Hewlett Packard. And overall, she had a good structure for her speech, but I don't know about sources. I heard them at the beginning, but towards the end I stopped. I didn't I mean, I didn't hear any sources, so other than that, I think it was an okay speech.
All right.